Yo, what's up? Hope you guys are doing good. I'm doing great. Today, I'm just going to be predicting the rest of the pay-per-views for the year. These are the pay-per-views that I think are going to happen, that I want to happen. Yeah, I'm not going to waste too much time, though. We already have one for 316, 318, so I'm going to do 317 and then everything after 318. Yeah, so for 317, bro, we already know that Ilia Topuria is going to be on there, so we got Ilia Topuria in one half of the main event, and on the other side, I don't think it's going to be Islam Makhachev. I think if it was Islam Makhachev, they would have already announced it, so I do think it's actually going to be Charles Oliveira for an interim belt. And then I think depending on how the 170 picture plays out, I think that'll kind of give us an idea of where Islam stands. If Islam doesn't go up to 170, then I think in January or something, he comes back to defend whoever wins this. They're going to need at least a half a year off. Also, speaking of this fight, I'd probably take Ilia Topuria in this fight. Charles Oliveira is obviously, top 3 lightweights of all time, but I don't know, even Charles Oliveira himself had said that this is a tough matchup. This is a dangerous matchup, a scary matchup. I mean, I'm not saying that Charles is scared of this dude. He's just, who wouldn't be, scared to get in there with Ilia Topuria as of right now? Can't blame him. I still probably pick Ilia. I think the wrestling will be good enough to defend takedowns from Charles. I don't think Ilia is stupid enough to go into Charles's guard. I think he'll force him to stand up if he drops him. And then, yeah, honestly, I would probably take Ilia by KO. Following UFC 318 in July, the August card, UFC 319, I actually think we're going to see the rematch between Ankalaev and Alex Pereira. I think this is pretty anticipated. I think by August, Alex should have done enough work to improve the game. I think if Ankalaev couldn't take him down in the first fight, I don't see him taking him down in the second fight. And I think if Alex can just be vintage Alex Pereira and not get outstruck again, then I think this is Alex's fight all day. I think that's the general consensus. I think people are mainly rooting for Alex. I don't know, unless you're Bedtime MMA, I don't know if you're, who else is voting for Big Ank. But, I mean, that's how I see this fight going, and I think by August there will have been enough time to book this. Okay, and for the UFC 320 card, which should be in September, I do think we're going to get DDP versus Khamzat Chimaev. This could be a bold take, but I just think that since we were supposed to get it, well, what we were hearing, we were supposed to get it on 317. I think both of them said that nothing was really confirmed for that, but still, I think that was what the UFC was kind of moving towards. I think so, since we were supposed to get it then, DDP was injured, but now he's not injured or something. I think a 3-month, well, shit, it'll be a 4-month turnaround from right now, from today. It'll be 4 months. I think this would be long enough to book. And also, there's some other people moving up in the division. We need some movement in the fucking division. This fight has to get booked this year, or else, I don't know, it's just going to be kind of a logjam. Who do I have winning this fight, man? I think DDP actually kind of has the stocky enough build to win this fight. I think Khamzat's still going to be shooting too low and still probably, I don't think ragdoll him like he does most guys. Like I said, I think his build is going to help him out here a lot. I think Dricus' build is going to help him out a lot. But I do think Khamzat's going to be too aggressive, and I don't know, if DDP can get it out the second round, though, I think it's going to be a masterclass from round 3 to 5, so that'd be great. Shit, he might even be able to TKO him if Khamzat can gas enough. But yeah, I don't know, maybe, but who knows, man. For his first championship fight, Khamzat might actually try to control the pace, might try to still ragdoll him, but at a more moderate pace. But yeah, man, that's what I got for the UFC 320 card, which should be in September. And for UFC 321 in October, I believe, I do think we're actually going to see Volkanovski versus Evloev. And we do, I mean, come on, Volk likes to make them fast turnarounds. We just saw him for 314, but from 314 to 21, that's 7 months, and that's a long time off for Volk. I mean, for prime Volk that we see, he usually makes the 4-month, 5-month turnarounds. So 7 months, I think, will be good enough for him, because he did say he wanted to start taking a little more time off in between his fights. So I think 7 months is good. It's a little more than a half year off. I think he's also been training for Evloev. Like, he's kind of known that Evloev was kind of the next guy up, even before Diego Lopez. So I think Volk could be ready. I do got Volk in this fight. I think he's too stocky. He's got a good center of gravity. I think, I don't know. Plus, he's got good fucking wrestling himself. If Islam isn't submitting this guy, then I doubt Evloev is. If anything, I mean, maybe Evloev gets a decision. That's his only way of fucking winning this. He's not finishing Volk. Volk's got 100 times X fucking finishing potential than Evloev does. I think this is a good fight. Yeah, but that's how I see UFC 321 going. I think this is the fight we're gonna get. And for UFC 322 in November, which is gonna be Madison Square Garden, it's always an MSG card in November. And who likes to host those MSG cards? Who's hosted them? I think was supposed to host him the last 2 years. One of them fell out, and he waited another whole year just to refill that card. Bro, John Jones. And you know who he has to fight. There's no fucking negotiation. He has to fight Tom Aspinall. I think they're waiting for MSG. MSG is usually what John Jones likes to fight in. If he's gonna ask for that big payday, and it's probably might be his retirement fight, you know he's gonna want the 30 mil in MSG. I think the UFC will cough up the 30 mil. I don't think they're stressing about that. But yeah, I do think that all we're waiting for now is just the MSG announcement. I think we're just trying to get a little bit closer to that, to get this fight announced for the card. That's honestly what I think is going to be done. Tom said that there's something in the works. John hasn't really said anything, but I think he's just keeping his mouth shut because this is the A side for sure. This is the A side of the decision of let's go to MSG. Like I'm almost positive this is what's happening. I know we're not getting it for International Fight Week now. If it wasn't going to be International Fight Week, already I was telling myself it's going to be the MSG card, because in 2023 he was supposed to hold it, but he got that pec injury, so then they waited an entire year for him just to get the MSG card again in 2024. So I think it's going to be the exact same thing. I think it's going to be another year layoff, and then we're going to get him in 2025 at MSG, and then I think it's a retirement. I think it's going to be a send-off for John Jones, win or lose. I think it's going to be a send-off. Yo, and also for 322, I actually do think we're going to get a pretty interesting co-main event if you're, you know, more of a fan than just a casual. I think we're actually going to get Juliana Pena versus Hulk Hogan. Whoever wins this, I think we're actually going to see come back and fight Amanda Nunes. Now this would be an interesting fight. I'm actually voting for Kayla Harrison in the Juliana Pena fight. I think Hulk Hogan could get it done unless Juliana Pena somehow flukes this shit somehow. Yo, they actually did her like really dirty with this photo. Look at this fucking lighting. Juliana Pena looks orange. And this is the only time I swear to God I've ever seen Kayla actually put on some lashes and look somewhat more than a man. But either way, I like Kayla Harrison a lot. I actually do think she's been a good personality for the sport so far. But bro, if her versus Amanda Nunes, the only way I see Amanda Nunes losing is actually getting fluked. Kayla Harrison is really fucking good though, man. But I only see her like really getting fluke KO'd. That's all I can really see. I really personally though, I don't even think that she should come back. But if Amanda Nunes doesn't come back, what the fuck else do we have in the division? There's nothing else in this goddamn division. Nothing that anybody cares about. Nothing. So yeah, I mean, I'd be pretty fucking hyped for this. I won't lie. I don't think that she should come back. She just got inducted into the Hall of Fame, but whatever, man. And the only way, same thing. I only see Juliana Pena winning the Kayla Harrison fight versus like fluke KO some shit, or nah, not a fluke sub. Definitely not a fluke sub. And yeah, I don't know, maybe a fluke KO. But yeah, I got Kayla Harrison in this, and then if it was gonna be Amanda Nunes versus Kayla Harrison, I like Kayla Harrison a lot. I think she's good promotionally for the sport. But I would still pick Amanda Nunes, not gonna lie. Yo, and for UFC 323 in December, I actually think we're gonna see the main event of this weekend, Belal Muhammad, come back if he manages to get through JDM. I'm rooting for JDM this weekend. I think the boxing is gonna be not a problem, but I think it'll be a good test for Belal. But also, I do think Belal's gonna win this. I'm not gonna lie. I think Belal gets it done by decision still. I think he's just a little too like well-rounded. And he's really, bro, he's not one for the fun fights. Like, if he needs to get a boring decision, Belal, by all means, will do that shit. But yeah, so I don't know if I have the opponent necessarily correct. I do think I got the Belal pick correct for the December card. That's 7 months in between this weekend and December. Here, I have Shavkat. I think this could go a multitude of different ways. I think Shavkat and Sean Brady can get matched up, and then they might cancel one another out. If they want to go more like towards an exciting pay-per-view, because like Sean Brady and Shavkat both are going to be the same fight for Belal Muhammad, they're both just going to be ground wars. If they want to go towards more of like an exciting fight, I guess you would do Ian Gary coming off that win, or Joaquin Buckley. By this time, Joaquin Buckley could maybe get a fucking flash KO over Kamaru Usman, and then what? Then Joaquin Buckley's definitely jumping up for the next title shot. So I think it could be one of 4 fucking guys, but I do think I have the A side right. I do think I got Belal Muhammad correct. I think if Shavkat beats Sean Brady though, I think they're gonna give it to him only because he was promised it, and he got, Belal got injured and then Shavkat got injured, or vice versa. It was one of the two. But yeah, they both got injured, and I think it's just because they already had this fight pre-booked. I think they're just gonna stick to their word of giving him the title shot. And like I said, unless maybe JDM beats Belal, or Belal beats JDM, and then Sean Brady somehow beats Shavkat, or something, something along those lines like that. Sean Brady is the #1 contender right now, so maybe they'll even just slip in Sean Brady in here and make Shavkat fight Ian Gary rematch, which I doubt, but you never know, bro. You literally never fucking know. Or maybe he fights Joaquin Buckley coming off a Kamaru Usman win, but they should not do that shit to Joaquin. They should not do that shit to Joaquin Buckley. I got Joaquin into that fight, man, and if he does, by the hopes of God, KO Kamaru Usman, bro, I do think it should be Joaquin Buckley versus Belal Muhammad in December. But yeah, man, those are my fucking picks for the pay-per-views for the rest of the year. Those are my predictions. Let me know what you guys got. Let me know who you guys got in these fights, or who would you put in the main events and predict for the rest of the pay-per-views. Besides that, guys, yeah, I don't got nothing else for you guys. Like, sub, and I'll see you guys in the next one, man. Peace.